welcome back to Codin. So guys, I hope you all are doing safe and keep smiling and keep shining and growing every day, and all take care of yourself and have a lovely time. So as we are continuing with C, so we are going to discuss about a new topic in this today's lesson, that is strings. So when we talk about strings, some questions that comes to our mind is what is a string? How do we define a string? How many types of string functions that are available? And what is some things that we can use to get user input and what we can use for user output. So all we are going to discuss in this video. So guys, if you're new to my channel, please do like it, share it, and also subscribe to my channel. Already on my YouTube channel, I have posted content regarding HTML, CSS, C++, C, Java, Python, and each and every video in detail, like telling you each and every point, each and every program with a detailed explanation. I've also posted some important questions that could be useful for exam. Do check that out also. So guys, with a positive attitude in your mind and learning new skill, so let's get started without wasting any time. Very lovely smile on your face and you into the study mode, everything lined up, your notebook and your pen around you, so that you can make the notes also whenever you see my video, and also the some of the basic point. So in this we are talking about string. So whenever we have learned about string, we all know that string is a thing that whatever we declare in double quotes, that is mentioned as a string. So whenever I'm talking about a string, we have seen in arrays also, like whenever we define a string, we end a string with a null character. So there are very different ways through which we use string. There are various different string functions that are available in C, which one can use to perform some operation. We are going to learn this operation in depth of like what actually a string can does, how we can define different declaration ways, and how which declarations are considered and which declarations are not considered. So let us understand the different ways first of all, that how we can define a string and how it actually works. So now let us understand that how we define different kinds of strings and the different ways of declaration of defining a string. So whenever we are talking about a string, so we always need to give it a value based upon one null character only. So whenever we are going to straight a string, it will always have a null value. In case it does not have a null value, so the compiler will automatically take it as a null character. So here, first of all, what we are doing, we are declaring a character string in which I have given the size as 6. So equals to hello. So now as you can count that hello is of 5 characters, but I have taken the value as 6. Why? Because one of the characters will be taken for null. So we need to take one character extra for the value that the null will store in the memory. Then I have taken string 2 with no size and given as word. So what is this string to do? It will take a null character automatically whenever it will going to compile. So we need to decide that whether we want to give a size of the array or we do not want to give the size of that particular array. And each of the string will come into double quotes. Now another way is we can declare a set of characters also as a string. So when I am defining a set of characters, when we are talking about a set of characters, when we want to just give a single character, then what we will do, we'll just add it into a single column, single quote. Basically that is called a single quote whenever we want to give a just single character. So here you can see I have now written hello in single quotes and given it into a full string and given the size of the string as 6. What I told you, that whenever we want to add a null character, we need to have the string more size than as we want to have. Then we are going to do print the string 1, print string 2 and the string 3. So why do we need to add a null character? The string letter is enclosed in double quotes. The character will be indicated to that, and the string pointer will point to that particular location and then give the initial value whatever it is present to it. So desired output of this. So after that we have defined different kinds of string. So now it can not be necessary like each time we are just going to define a character and then only we are going to use that. We have some different ways through which we can get the data from the user. So for that we have scanf, gets and fgets. So let's understand that how we can retrieve a line or text from the user by different ways, and what makes it different ways different from each other. So here as you can see in this example, what we are going to use, we are going to use the three types of ways through which we can get the user input. So as the number first case that we all are using, that is a scanf case. So what is the basically the purpose of scanf? Scanf is basically used to read a string. There is no need to access the variable address, because whenever I am going to give the scanf variable, I am just going to give the array name which act as a pointer and stop reading the input whenever it reaches a space. So here I have defined first of all a f name After that, I am going to write a printf statement, enter the first name. So first of all, I am just going to write that. First of all, enter that so the user gets to know whatever he wants to enter. So the first approach I am going to use over here to get the input from the user is scanf. So what is scanf actually going to do? It is used to read the string and then it will assess the variable address because an array name acts as a pointer to it. So I have just given it address of the particular array name, whichever I want to access, and then I'm going to get ch or return 0 so to get the output of that particular code. So when I'm going to execute its code, so what will it ask? It will ask the user to enter the first name. Now this is the very first way through which we can assess the code of using a scanf statement. So when I'm going to enter this, you can enter any of the name. So as soon as it reaches the space, it will exit out from the program. Next way that we have is a gets function. So when I'm talking about a gets function, what is makes it different from the scanf function? So in the get function, to read a string, it reads input until terminated to a new line. Means as until and unless the enter function is not been present, it will not get terminated. So what is the difference over here? We'll just write gets and then the particular name of the thing that we want to enter. So what we will do, we will just execute this code. So it will ask the user to enter whatever we want to get the user enter. We have a safer alternative, that is fgets. Now when we are talking about fgets, it provides a safer alternative because it reads a specified number of characters and prevents a buffer overflow, which happens when the array is very big and to be typed text in. So what we are going to use, we are going to use three properties in it. First of all, the string name, then the number of characters it want to read, and then the pointer from the string, that is stdin, as you can see over here. So what is stdin over here? Standard input from the user. About that, we can take different ways through which we can take input. Like we were using a gets function, we are using a fget function, scanf function. Similarly, we can take the output also in different ways. For that, we just have a printf function as we were using. Then we have a fput functions as well as the put function. Now, what does it make different, that puts function and the fput function? So whenever I'm talking about the puts function, the puts function take only a string argument and is just used to display the output. Just that we are just doing in printf case. But in the printf case, you need to define the percentage d, percentage s, whatever we want to use. But in this case, you just need to write puts and then in that particular thing, whatever you want to print. As you can see on the screen also the syntax of this particular puts. Then we have fputs. So in the fput, what it requires the name of the string, the pointer to where you want to print the string, and to print the screen, that is stdio out. In the previous case, as you can see, we are using fgets, we are using stdio in. In this, we will use stdio out. So basically standard output. So in this way, this is the syntax that you can see on the screen whenever I want to use a fput function. Now moving to the next part of a string is, like we have some library function that are inbuilt in a string which helps us perform some task, and we can perform that task according to that library function. So here as you can see, we have some of the function like strlen, strcat, strcpy, strlwr, strupper, str. Now what are these strreb, strcmp? Now what does exactly do? So whenever I'm talking about the very first thing, that is string len, that is used to calculate the length. Then we have cat, that is used to concatenate two string, means combining of two string. Then string copy, moving a string to the another string, copying it. String lower to move it to the lower case, that is small abc or something. Uppercase is moving it to the uppercase, like capital A, capital B, capital C. String reverse is used to reverse the string. Suppose I have written string, so it will write GNRIT, something like that. Then if we have string compare, it is used to basically compare between two string, like this is the largest string or this is the largest string. As now you can see on the screen also a one line detailed explanation about what all these things do and what is the function of this thing. So now we talked about that string.h provides us with various kinds of functions, and we can use that various kind of functions to perform some operations into a C program. So we are here including some necessary data header files and just included some two header files. I'll tell you when we are going to use that string header file and what is the basic purpose and which function actually requires that string.header file. So first of all, I have defined over here string1, in which I have written some of the text. Whichever text you want to write, you can write that text in whichever way you want to write, as we have discussed previously in the video, like how we define text with the help of an array. without sizing it, without unsizing it, or be giving it as character form. Then I have defined a string 2. I'm using these two strings because I'm going to perform some task based upon two strings. Like I'm going to calculate the string length also, I'm going to concatenate also, and then I'm going to copy also. So here I've used first of all string cat. So in string cat, what I have passed as two arguments, string 1 comma string 2. Basically it is used to concatenate two strings. When I talk about concatenation, concatenation basically means if I want to combine two strings. So string cat is part of a string header file. So here I have included hash include string.h. So if you do not include the hash include string.h, these function will not work because these are part of the string.h header file only. If you include that header file into your program, then only these functions are going to work. Then what I have done, I passed that argument and passed s1. So whichever value you want to pass, like if you want to pass in s2 or if you want to pass in s1, you can show that accordingly. It means the string will be concatenated and it will be included into that particular thing. Now next thing we are going to use length of the string. So for the length of the string, what we are going to use, we are going to use string length. So basically string length will include the length of the string, whichever string we want to calculate. So here I have written string s1. So now what I am going to do, I am going to just add this string s1 directly into my printf statement so that it is easy just to print that particular part and get me the desired output. So when I'm going to print this part, so we need a percentage %d also here so that we can get the content of that whenever we want to use it. Basically length of the string is will be in integer, so we need to pass that. Then we have string copy. Now what it will happen, that the string 1 content will be copied to string 2 and the string 2 content will be copied to string 1. After that I'm writing a string compare printf in which I've written s1 is now this and the s2 part is now this. So when we are going to execute this code, so you could be able to see the desired output. So whenever we will run this, we will get the desired output as calculating the result of that particular part, length of the particular string, and also the other. So guys, I hope you must be clear about the different ways through which we use these functions and how we need to actually work with the stringget function and how we need to define the string and what role does the strings plays in the C language. So guys, if you are clear with each and every concept, please do give this video a like and also share it. And if you are new to my channel and not yet subscribed, please do subscribe it. Instagram page, the link is in the bio. I am posting amazing content over there also, and I am planning to post that content also here. So those who are not able to access Instagram, they can access that content over here also. So guys, please do keep supporting and share as much as possible. And thank you so much for watching.